Guys, we're back!
Woo!
Season 15 of The Bachelorette. We are so excited to be here. I don't know why I chose to go first. I've got two beautiful, intelligent ladies next to me, and I'm like, I'll mansplain everything.
Oh, we love you, Jazz.
I know, it's so good to be back. We love you guys, the fans. I love these two co-hosts here. Don't worry, guys. Christina will be joining us for this season. She just couldn't make the pre-show. So we will have all four of the OGs back on the panel. Guys, say hi to the fans.
Hi, what's up, guys? It's Christine. It's been a minute, but I'm back. I'm excited for the season. I feel like it's been ages. Where you been, Renee?
I know. I've been busy. I also feel like I'm sitting awkwardly far away from you guys, so I'm gonna come closer. Hey, you guys, it's Renee Ariel here. Wow, I really don't know what I've been doing with my life without The Bachelor. I'm so happy that a new season is upon us in less than a week.
It went pretty fast, though.
I was just about to say, aren't we due for like another week or two between this time?
Oh, I'm ready for it, you guys.
I'm really ready for it, but I'm also just having to emotionally and mentally prepare myself for the time and the emotional energy. But I gotta say, I don't want to be a hater, guys, but y'all know where I stand on Hannah B. Still a little worried about this season.
I gotta agree with you there. Yeah. I'm not quite sold yet. All of the promos still are very ominous of just like, well, who is Hannah B? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm kind of scared to find out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Renee?
Okay, so I know last season there was a big arc of Hannah B. From the get-go, she was a bit nervous, more in her shell, a little kind of awkward. By the end of it...
Very generous understatement you're giving to us.
Listen, by the end of it, and the end of the season, I'm not including the live reunion, okay? By the end of the season, she seemed to have really figured out who she was. Yeah. She was really funny. Even during the awkward live reunion, she had some great one-liners, I will say. She made me LOL IRL. I'm hip.
I'm leaving.
So because of that, I think after some intense media training, which is what I think she needed, I think it's going to be a great season.
It's funny that you bring up After the Final Rose, because that was, and also the live reunion special as well, because I feel like we saw two different Hannahs during that.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, she had her arc throughout the season, and After the Final Rose, she looked poised. She looked really good. I remember she had on a really nice black ensemble. She handled herself well. She kind of steered clear of the drama between Kaylin and tried to like put everything behind her. Whereas on the flip side, at the live taping, I think I mixed that up with Women Tell All and After the Final Rose. But she really fumbled the bag, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. When they started her season right away on stage, which is no longer a surprise anymore. We keep seeing this happen. Mm-hmm. I was genuinely worried. She couldn't give a toast, if you remember.
That was episode 1, you guys.
I mean, that's what we're working with up to this point.
But I'm telling you, this girl is going to kill it. Also, wait, can I go quickly off track for 1 second?
Yeah, let's do it.
Kaylin, Cassie, and Colton, since the season wrapped, is the weirdest friendship. There was an article where Colton was talking about how Cassie basically forced him to be friends with Caitlyn, and the whole thing is bonkers.
What?
It's bonkers. Let me tell you why. When we saw Caitlyn crying, hysterically, being like, oh, I thought it was us. During this time, just so you guys know, she was pals with Colton and like hanging out with Cassie and Colton.
During AFR.
AFR.
Wow.
So that to me is a bit mental. And now I just think when I see them together, like, I'm sorry, Cassie, Colton, you can try all day to be like, it's cool, we have a different dynamic. It's awkward. America knows it's awkward. It's weird.
Should we save this discussion for the very end? So for those of you guys who want to tune into the Cassie, Caitlyn, Colton discussion, let's do a little bit of Hannah B coverage. That's our tease. We will give our thoughts on where we think...
I have some thoughts too, yeah.
on where the status of Colton and Cassie, because despite wishing the best, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
But back to our girl Hannah.
Back to our girl Hannah B. I want this season to be amazing. Not only as someone who likes Hannah B, but as someone who wants a great season of television. Mm-hmm. Again, anytime I express fear for Hannah B, it's not at all that I dislike her.
Right.
On the other hand, I actually think she's cool. I think she knows who she is, and I appreciate that she's sort of a different flavor of girl than we normally get.
Wow, different flavor of girl.
Yeah.
What a way to put it.
Because normally we get like middle height brunette girls, and this time we have a middle height blonde girl. So
wow, it's really different.
With the real cheeky smile.
With the real cheeky smile. But it's more her personality. I think, she's a little quirkier. She's kind of weird, which, that's fun to get.
Yeah.
My fear is that truly nothing about who she is. It's just that she's not good at TV. And that's what we're going to be watching is 11 weeks of a television show. So despite liking her, I'm worried that she's not suited to carry a show.
On that note, though, I think it will make it much more organic watching someone who's not great at TV. Because I think a big reason why people were trying to be excited about Ari, which turned out to be quite the season, is because they thought that he wasn't comfortable with TV. Like, he wouldn't remember how the show works. Maybe we'll get a more organic love story. And I think the same could go for Hannah B. I really like her. I think that that was her big moment on AFR. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she, blew it a bit. But I think, we all have had moments in our careers or our just personal lives where we've tried to make the best of a situation and it didn't go as planned. You've never had an embarrassing moment, not on stage, but maybe on stage or on camera. Maybe if we go back to early days of hosting, come on, we've all...
Okay, but Renee, let's rewind a little bit. This wasn't a little gaffe. This wasn't an embarrassing moment. This was 22 minutes of shockingly unproduced live television. I'm not trying to sound overly dramatic, but we work in live TV, so I'm especially sensitive to this. Yeah. It was interesting as someone who works in producing live television because it was for the largest, most watched live television event that year to be perceived that way and presented that way was so strange. It was, I don't know. Again, I like Hannah, but that AFR just got me so worried.
To your point, do you think any of it was deliberately produced that way to just get us a little anxious?
I don't know, because The Bachelor, of course, does these kinds of things to us, but I felt like Chris Harrison's not that good of an actor. I felt like he was deer in headlights. I felt like, then of course Air Supply gave us a nice little medley.
Oh gosh.
All of AFR, after such a good season, was just kind of, God bless the franchise, but kind of a train wreck. But what I will say in addition to all of this is none of us were excited about Colton.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, and all of us would agree that it's maybe top 5 seasons of the franchise, right?
It definitely turned me
around. We loved
around.
Colton's season.
Exactly, and let me tell you guys, as much as we may know live television, as much as all 3 of us have worked behind the scenes and in front of the camera, we don't have the experience that these Bachelor or Bachelorette casting directors do. I think that we should put some faith in their hands that there's a reason that they've chosen Hannah B. And maybe look at the positives. Yes, there was the flub that was 22 minutes long and not the best to watch. However, I have faith. Mm-hmm. I really need a new season of The Bachelorette in my life, and I hope that it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm really just excited to finally get the question answered that they keep posing in all the trailers of who is Hannah B. Tell me, not just the promos already made it clear that we're throwing away the whole pageantry thing, which is interesting because her platform when she was running as a pageant queen was about normalizing discussions around depression and anxiety. I'm really curious to see if that'll come up on her season, if she'll bring that up, because she does come off as someone who can get a little anxious in her head when she's under pressure. So I'm curious to see how that'll play out, as her being the lead and with the guys who are here to date her. Because let's not forget, I know the ladies bring the drama on The Bachelor, and that's honestly my favorite iteration of the show for that reason. But the men bring some of the pettiest, crazy man drama. So I cannot wait to see how Hannah either diffuses that or responds to it. What we'll even get. I mean, you guys saw the trailer. We do have a pathological liar to look out for.
I also really quick just want to trademark the phrase petty crazy man drama that Christine said earlier. Make sure you trademark that because that's brilliant.
Petty crazy man drama.
Petty crazy man drama. Yes. We're here for it.
Yeah, but you make a good point. I hope she handles herself the way Rachel Lindsay did her season, because whenever someone was the worst, she called them out immediately for it. So and that's true. I think Becca's season kind of lacked that. I can't remember a time she really called someone out in a way that I'm like, yeah, you tell him. Yeah. But with Rachel, I remember the whole scene with her and DeMario when she called him out. I want that. So if there's these terrible villains, I at least want her to kind of put them in their place. But because of her personality, I don't see that. But maybe she does have the Hannah Beast in her, so maybe that'll come out.
The Beast.
Well, I think this is a good time to bring up some information that I've been researching about this upcoming season. So,
great.
Kind of a spoiler, I guess, but it's kind of public information now, so whatever. You've been warned.
We tread the line, but we never go like reality Steve style spoilers. We go like general news, social media-esque types of spoilers.
Right.
So.
And to your point about, Hannah maybe not knowing the right decision to make, she will have some help on the first night because in a Bachelorette first, two of her co-stars co-contestants rather, from last season, Katie and Demi, are going to be in the first episode.
Katie?
Katie,
who called out Kaylin?
I'm
so happy for Katie. She deserves this.
She's getting some more screen time, so she'll be back with Demi. They're supposed to be in this like secret band, listening in on other conversations that'll be happening throughout the night when Hannah's busy talking to other guys.
Ooh.
So I think this is a really nice, juicy way to kind of up the ante of the first night, because it can get kind of exhausting listening to all those conversations.
Wait a second.
Can I steal you for a second?
Wait a second. Why? Hold on. Who was the trio in the Bachelor house? Hannah B, Hannah G, and Demi. Why is Hannah G not going on?
Instagram. She's too busy being influential.
Too busy influencing.
Focusing on her rap career. Come on, guys.
Oh, God. She's at Coachella.
If anyone has any tea on that, let us know in the comments if you know anything about any of the existing friendships that are still going on. But Katie will be there. Clearly, she has a good ear for the tea because she heard that other gossip between Kaylin and Cassie allegedly on a bus when they were
I believe her.
On the show, right? On that note, some other news about this upcoming season. It's been put out there the countries that Hannah B will be taking her suitors to. We have Latvia, Scotland, the Netherlands, and Greece.
Okay.
Netherlands. Yeah. Greece is so pretty.
Greece is beautiful.
I'm not surprised.
I've never been there.
A 4-country season. I feel like sometimes that makes me nervous because it's like when it's week 2 and they're like, "We're going to the moon." You're like, "Uh-oh, maybe that's because no one is carrying this show." But that's good. I do like the traveling. The beautiful helicopter shots of Grecian cliffs will be very nice.
I get a feeling though they're going to be spending a lot of time in her hometown. Like I feel like the season is going to be her hometown visit, just because she talks about Alabama so much.
Yeah.
And how much it influences her.
We're not staying in the mansion, you're staying in a hotel in Alabama.
A motel.
Can you imagine? Oh my God. I mean, it got me thinking though, like compared to some of the places that the guys went on Becca's season, which is like the Bahamas, Thailand,
Fort Lauderdale,
Vegas, Fort Lauderdale. Wait, I think that was on Ari's season.
I'm just always gonna refer to it, you guys.
Fort Lauderdale. And then on Rachel's season, South Carolina, Norway, Denmark, Geneva, and Spain is where they finished out the season.
Okay.
So kind of interesting. They're going a little further east, it sounds. And then some other info that's been put out is some of the celebrity guests that we can expect on this season.
Ooh.
Some really interesting one, guys.
Oh, I'm excited.
Miss J. Alexander from America's Next Top Model.
Throwback.
Oh, a nice little TBT.
Nice.
Known for bringing the sass and really whipping people into shape, so I'm excited. I know you're reading ahead. Some other guests include Jason Biggs and Jenny Mullen.
I love Jenny Mullen. She
interviewed her.
She also wrote my favorite book, which is I Like You Just the Way I Am. I love her so much.
That's great.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
We need to get her on the show.
Huh?
We should try to get her on the
I could reach out to her.
Guys, do you want to see her on the show?
I produced a great interview that Renee did with her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was I was so excited, you guys, because I look up to her so much for her career. She's so talented.
Well, they're fans of the show, so I'm assuming they're going to be on some sort of group date activity. And then we're going to also get a moment with Jaylen Brown and Terry Rozier from the Boston Celtics.
Cool.
We see that in the promo. There's some like cool basketball themed date, so that'll be interesting to see.
Always play sports.
Come on, it's guys. It's guys. They're gonna.
I can't wait to see what kind of like aggressive, like macho activities they'll have to do though.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, they just turn these dudes. I always like to describe it of, you know how on the evolutionary chart, like it starts with an ape and then like it becomes a human. They become like the 4th person on the chart, where it's like they're not quite a human yet, but they still got like a little bit of the animal in them.
And it's just like.
That's what the Bachelor brings out of these dudes. I'm so excited about it.
And then the last 2 celebrity guests that were listed were 2 drag queens from, I guess, this most recent season of RuPaul's Drag Race, Alyssa Edwards and Alaska. So they're going to be maybe teaching us how to serve as well. I can see a crossover moment with Miss J there.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a how Miss J factors in
right?
to that component.
Seems probable. So that's all the tea I got for you guys.
What if they make the guys dress in drag?
That would be everything, honestly.
I would love that.
I want to see how people really come out their shell with that.
Oh, for sure. The way these dudes react, that would be so interesting to see if they like pushed them in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how fragile your masculinity is or isn't, guys.
We do have some people in the chat, so before we move on, I want to shout out some of our fans. We have Joseph Boza, we've got PJ Drayton, we've got Ray and Winslow, which is so close to Ray and Wilson. I love your name.
Hey, guys.
We have Edernam Doe and Dre the Great. It seems like we have mixed bags on our feelings for Hannah. Joseph Boza says that he felt like Hannah was stalling during the 22 minutes. Who wanted Hannah to be Bachelorette, he says. I really don't care for her, says Dre the Great. Not a big fan, but I'll give her a chance. I feel the same way. Great to have you guys. Keep giving us your thoughts and let us know what you're most excited about for this season.
Yeah. I just think in general, they're going to continue to up the ante. I think they tried a lot of different stylized things last season with Colton season, just a lot of firsts in terms of production.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they're going to continue that. Like I said, even with Katie and Demi being in the first episode, we haven't had that before. I just think they're going to continue to try and surprise us. Franchise. I mean, it is the more successful franchise, if you think about it. Maybe Paradise, though.
Yeah. I mean, they each have their own special place in all of our hearts, right?
Oh, for sure.
But we have been kind of having a renaissance of the franchise, I feel. I feel like in the last couple of seasons, there's been some new life really injected. First Black Bachelorette, first Virgin Bachelor, and the first time someone jumped a fence. That moment, iconic. And I think the more we can get, like you were saying, Christina, these sort of the fresh injection into the formula that we're so used to, I think it's good for the show.
Yeah, I agree.
They haven't jumped the shark. They haven't jumped the fence yet. So we're good to go.
One thing I'm not a fan of, though, is when they try to do a little too much with, like, the specials. I don't know if you guys in the chat have caught the Bachelorette reunion special. I checked it out earlier today. It's an hour and 30 minutes, which I thought was a bit overkill. But, I mean, we didn't really learn too much about Hannah in that either, but we did see a lot of, like, fan interaction with Chris and, like, on this Bachelor tour bus. That's when I think the show starts to lose me a little bit.
It's hard. Yeah, I think this is going to sound really shady, but when I see, like, the sad, desperate people in Bachelor Nation that they feature, I start to think, like, am I one of them?
We are!
You know, and we totally are. But, like, sometimes the reunions make me depressed because I see myself in these crazy people, and I'm like, oh, God. I should, like, read a book.
I mean, think about it. Colton's premiere, I was there. It was live streamed. It was, like, intense. Yeah. It was, like, in 3 different cities. It was so intense. I'm like...
Yeah, even where we were in LA, like, there were so many different rooms with so many different people with a lot of stuff going on. It was overwhelming. Right? Yeah, but great cookies.
There you go.
Cookies and the donuts downstairs were
donuts
so
were
good.
So good. Anyway.
Well, I gotta get me into the next one, guys.
We gotta try, right?
I know they're really interested in having tall, boring white guys attend these events, so if you need more, I'm happy to fill those shoes.
If you weren't married, they'd probably ask you to lead it, Jeff.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I think we should get into the tea that we teased a little earlier, Renee. Just talking about our most recent Bachelor and where he's at right now with his lovely lady, Cassie. And just kind of how we're not really feeling where they're at, yeah?
Yeah, so from what I've gathered via the internet, because Cassie and Michelle started back up their YouTube channel, I can't remember what it's called. They vlog together on, like, what looks like a camera phone from the early 2000s. Like, it's not the best of quality.
Oh, my God.
Their editing's not the best, but it's cute. They're both really cute. Anyway, so apparently Michelle and Cassie moved in together. Colton still doesn't live with Cassie. Michelle and Cassie live together, and in the same building Caitlin lives.
Where do Greg Sulkin and Colton should move in together?
Yeah, they should. In the same building.
Yeah.
That's like a floor above Cassie, but like a floor below Caitlin.
Yeah. I just can't believe Caitlin's in the building with them.
That's
and there's
crazy.
all these stories that I've seen of them all hanging out. Probably one of the most cringe moments that I've seen is when, and this was a while back, Caitlin posted a photo of her and Cassie, and she captioned, and it was like them making a smiley face, and the next one them going like, and making like a funny like shocked face, and they're like, when Colton finds out he has to share Cassie with me, I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. Why?
It's too much.
You just cried on TV, live TV, saying how like, why wasn't it me? Meanwhile, you're like, we're friends now. Are you even friends with, like, your ex? Like, this is so weird. I don't know. And maybe I don't understand it because, for me, when I think of being that close on a daily basis with, like, my ex and his new girlfriend.
It couldn't be me.
That's just so weird. Even if you left on good terms, I feel like that's, I mean, maybe not if it was long enough ago, but it was like
a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I mean, just as a single person in general, like my threshold for hanging around couples is pretty low.
I know.
No offense, I'm sorry.
Listen,
when it gets too much,
bitter.
I'm like, all right.
Okay, we just want to find love.
Just, you know, like being Kaylin, like, well, I don't know, girl. I couldn't, like I said, couldn't be me.
For me, if I were Colton, I'd have an issue. You know, naturally, I'm putting myself in his shoes.
Right.
And
we need his perspective.
If I, like, fought so hard to keep Cassie around, I feel like I wouldn't be super stoked about her, like, bestieing up with my ex. And, like...
Especially one who made it so far.
Yeah, the one who made it so far. And, like, I hate to pull out this phrase because people get frustrated when I say it, but the ready for marriage phrase, right? I wouldn't... If I was almost going to get engaged to one person, but then I got engaged to the other person, I wouldn't want my fiance to be best friends with my ex-fiance.
No.
Like, that just feels like something I'd be like, I don't feel super comfortable with this.
Especially after the reunion show.
Yeah.
God, I wish we could play the clip. You guys just watch the clip after this, where she's crying and just going like, I really thought it was us. Like, what went wrong? Crying. I don't understand.
I know. It's the turnaround is just so quick. It's hard. Honestly, I followed Colton throughout the season because he was our bachelor, but I haven't followed him and all of them right after because I just can't stand their content. Like it's just so like
shade,
vanilla.
And here's what I'll say.
Really like.
Yeah.
It's just not interesting.
The truth is, whenever we say this stuff, I sincerely at least, and I'm going to speak for both of you and tell me if I'm wrong, but I really do want the best for Colton and Cassie. I like both of them a lot. The optics of it aren't great, and if I were a betting man, I just don't think I see a marriage happening soon, or at least...
Don't say.
Or ever?
I don't know.
You mean ever. Don't say soon. We know what you mean.
Did we say at the end of their season how long we were giving them till? I feel like we... said that. I don't know. I said this summer.
For them to get married or break up?
No, like break up.
I give it a year. Or a year or two,
year.
I said. Because I think they're going to have like a serious, like whatever, year or two relationship.
How many People magazine covers can they get out of this thing? Because once they hit their last one, that's when they're going to break up.
That's when it's going to be over. Yeah,
Shout out to people.
The YouTube channel also, like, if you guys, it's just the whole... I just find this whole thing weird. And you know what? I'm sure... If Kaylin wasn't involved and they weren't on a show like The Bachelor and it didn't go down the way they went down, I would just think they're a cute couple. Yeah. But because of everything else, it's weird, and I just can't get on board with it 100%, and I want them both to be happy, you know? But, like, it's, you know, a little bit rough.
Brandon Mays in our chat has an interesting thought on this. He says, I don't think he does feel comfortable with this. He'll just do whatever Cassie says.
Oh, absolutely.
And I totally agree, Brandon, and that's the issue with their relationship, is we saw a potentially unhealthy power dynamic at play in these last couple episodes, where Colton groveled on his knees and crawled to Spain to try to get this girl back, and she was like, sure, I'll date you. That's not a healthy start to a relationship, and unfortunately, I fear that adding a best friendship with your ex-fiancé is only...
Living in the same building!
In the same building. It's only kind of further adding unhealthy bedrock to the foundation of this relationship, and Colton doesn't have the space to see any of it.
Well, I think Cassie doesn't either, or if she does, she doesn't care. I think it just is really a reflection of how old they are. She's acting like a young 20-something-year-old who's just like, this is what I want. My best friend's here and I have my boyfriend, and like, that's just how I want it. Not realizing like, that's just not, it doesn't always play out that way comfortably. I mean, in a perfect world, yes, but you also wouldn't have the whole sister wife thing happening too. It would be like a totally separate entity, like, hypothetically, like, yeah, me and Jeff are gonna get married. Introduce you to my friend Renee. We're all friends. Not like you guys have already dated.
Yeah. And the thing
is, doesn't work.
This is another example too, when you were saying like that she probably was just like, yep, this is how it's gonna be. I think if Colton pulls that kind of BS, she would break up with him.
Oh yeah.
Because she will not make any compromises for him. Like, please, and honestly, and I challenge you guys, look online, do your research, because we're all creepy fans, and find one piece of evidence showing an example of Cassie compromising for Colton, because I guarantee you he's always the one making compromises, giving in, doing what she wants to do no matter what, and that's just not an even relationship.
Right, and even as women we're saying this. It's not like we want a guy to be that way. I mean, I think I can speak for a lot of women to say that you want someone with a little bit of backbone.
Absolutely.
And you're right, you do need a better, like, equal partnership there. That dynamic can't be so one-sided, because it'll always leave you feeling like
it's just not healthy.
Yeah.
And it's not, he's acting as though he did something bad and he's like trying to make it up to her when it's just like the start of their relationship, which tells you something. If this is the beginning, imagine, how is that going to last?
I don't know.
Well, let us know what you guys think. It seems like in the comments currently a lot of people agree. Miss Brown Sugar says that she sees that Kaylin is showing herself to be exactly what I expected and what Renee predicted. So thanks for the heads up. And real quick, I know we haven't talked a ton about the reunion, but it seems like a lot of you guys really enjoyed it, which is awesome. CCC says, the reunion was awesome. It was deep in the past and a special moment, and it did show how this franchise has changed so many lives. Mm-hmm. It even brought tears to my eyes, and it was just awesome. So, CCC, we're glad you loved it. And that's part of the reason we love Bachelor Nation, is y'all are just as nuts as we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the old footage was cute, because I definitely was like a later Bachelor fan. I kind of came in later in the franchise, so to see all the like season 1 stuff, that epic montage of all the first kiss, the first person to say I love you to 2 people, the first
Ben
getting a name wrong, just like so many firsts. That was really cute.
What I would have wanted, though, is Can I Steal You for a Second montage.
Oh, my God.
Because there are probably 200,
that would be 8 hours long.
That would be a PA's nightmare to go through the footage and look through all of that, honestly.
Absolutely.
Thank you to them for doing that for us.
But you guys, I'm so excited. We're going to be back next Monday.
Yes, we will be live, just so you guys know, to tune into the chat. On Mondays at 7 p.m. is when you can tune into our live feed on our AfterBuzz TV. Yes, thank you. That's Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, which is most of you guys, right after the East Coast airing of The Bachelor ends. So if you watch it live in any of the states, you know, on this side of the country, tune into our after show. We always have a huge active fan base joining the chat with us, which we love. We love you guys. We're just as nuts as you are, Bachelor Nation. We can't wait to continue the show.
Yes. All right, you guys. We'll see you then.
Because we're shameless self-promoters, we're also going to give you our Twitter handles. If you guys want to connect with me online, you do that at Jeffrey C. Graham.
And on Twitter, you can find me at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
And on Instagram and on Twitter, you can find me at Renee Ariel.
We'll see you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. on the AfterBuzz TV reality channel. Tune in.